I look at the daily, this brutal collapse from 280 something back down to 115. Again, we're now at a 7 count, would give us another 2 days. We would have a 9, 13, 9 bottom. So we're really starting to set up in many of these. I think SUI on a weekly as well was a perfect 9 signal. We're now looking where we might be in this is the daily. We're on a 10 of 13 and a 6 of a 9. So it kind of feels so close to me that we're at the capitulation time that you and I spoke last time back in September. And the forward-looking liquidity stuff looks good.
Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal believes Bitcoin is on the verge of entering the next phase of its bull run. According to Pal, Bitcoin typically lags the global liquidity cycle by about 10 weeks. He shared a chart indicating that the global money supply, M2, has surged significantly after hitting a bottom in late 2024. Based on this data, he anticipates Bitcoin will soon end its current correction and resume upward momentum. While Pal is bullish on Bitcoin's near-term prospects, he also referenced Julian Brigden, head of macroeconomic research at Global Macro Investor, GMI, who sees a slightly different timeline. Brigden believes Bitcoin trails the global M2 measure by approximately 12 weeks and predicts that BTC will hit a local bottom this week before beginning its recovery. Earlier this month, Pal forecasted that global M2 would continue to rise, even as Bitcoin and the broader crypto market endured a temporary correction. This dip, he explained, is due to a liquidity squeeze driven by a stronger dollar and rising interest rates during Q4 of 2024. However, he now believes that phase is nearly over, with financial conditions improving rapidly and M2 heading back to new highs. Pal also made bold predictions for Bitcoin's future price, suggesting it could reach a cycle high of at least $210,000, with potential to soar as high as $412,000, or conservatively, $85,000. Beyond Bitcoin, Pal highlighted altcoins like Solana SUl and SUI as poised for major breakouts in the near term.
I know the talk is tariffs. I know it's all about what's happening today, what happened yesterday, what did Trump announce? But I go back to the framework that I've been using, which is liquidity. And the liquidity has led this whole price action by 3 months so perfectly. It's been sort of insane. And, I'm just, Peter, I'm just going to share a chart. This is from Global Macro Investor, just to kick us off on how I'm looking at this. Now, this doesn't have today's price action, but again, price action in Bitcoin is actually not that bad today, not like the Nasdaq's getting nuked. And I'll talk about the Nasdaq in a sec as well. So global M2 versus Bitcoin, either a 10-week lead or a 12-week lead, doesn't really matter. But basically, should be the bottoming zone. What is happening here is there's a reaction to the Trump headlines, yes, of course, but a lot of this was baked in the cake because of liquidity tightening by the rising dollar and rising rates last year. Now, you can see from the black line, which is forward-looking, 10 weeks, and this doesn't take into account the current move in the dollar and rates and oil, is actually financial conditions are easing really, really fast. The Nasdaq is all the same as well. You can see from the chart here, we're kind of in the bottoming zone. Forward, we've got global M2. And the financial conditions index is screaming higher, whilst the economic surprises index of how the economic activity is versus expectation should start raising too. So the growth shock.
Raoul Pal highlights SUI's strong potential over XRP and Solana. Raoul Pal has recently expressed bullish sentiment on the new cryptocurrency SUI, suggesting that it may outperform XRP and potentially even Solana. In his analysis of the SUI XRP trading pair, Pal observed that it remains within a long-term bullish channel, currently positioned at lower levels. This setup, he believes, could signal significant upside in the near future. Pal noted that SUI is already showing signs of outperforming XRP, which could lead to further gains if the trend continues. He urged investors to keep a close eye on the SUI XRP chart, emphasizing that SUI is a digital asset worth monitoring over the long term. In addition to XRP, Pal believes SUI could also outperform Solana. On the SUI Solana pair, he pointed out the formation of an inverted head and shoulders pattern on the weekly chart, a classic bullish signal. If confirmed, this could indicate substantial gains ahead. While Pal maintains confidence in Solana's long-term role in the crypto ecosystem, he also sees SUI as a high-potential asset capable of delivering substantial alpha to bold investors. As a result, he is considering reallocating part of his Solana holdings into SUI. Despite SUI being a newer and riskier token compared to proven protocols like Solana, Pal views it as an excellent diversification opportunity. He advised investors to remain cautious but open to strategic rebalancing based on evolving market conditions and technical analysis. SUI surpasses Tron in daily active addresses. Signal's rapid growth SUI network has achieved a major milestone by surpassing Tron to become the third largest blockchain in terms of daily active addresses. The platform's user base skyrocketed from approximately 1.38 million to 2.46 million in just a few weeks, reflecting the network's growing popularity and strong adoption. This surge marks a major turning point for the Layer 1 protocol, which is gaining traction thanks to its advanced core technology. SUI is built on the Move programming language, originally developed by Facebook for its now-defunct DM project. This highly secure and performance-oriented codebase has enabled developers to create sophisticated decentralized applications, dApps, that now thrive on the network. SUI boasts theoretical transaction speeds of up to 297 TPS, making it one of the fastest platforms in the industry. Its high throughput has proven especially beneficial in sectors like DeFi, gaming, and NFTs, where user demand is intense and performance is critical. Additionally, SUI's cross-chain interoperability is gaining momentum. In the last quarter alone, nearly $1 billion in cross-chain assets flowed into the ecosystem, highlighting growing trust from both institutional investors and developers. The network's total value locked, TVL, in DeFi protocols has also surged, climbing from under $400 million in August to nearly $2.3 billion. A clear sign of increased adoption and capital inflow. Macro risks. Trump tariffs may weigh on Bitcoin. Despite positive developments in the altcoin space, the broader crypto market faces potential headwinds. Julio Moreno, senior researcher at CryptoQuant, has warned that President Trump's new tariff policies could negatively impact Bitcoin and the overall market. These tariffs may introduce short-term economic uncertainty, which in turn could prompt investors to pull back from riskier assets, including cryptocurrencies. The market has already seen signs of stress, with sell-offs triggered by fears of a more protectionist U.S. trade stance. Moreno cautioned Bitcoin supporters to remain aware of the negative implications of Trump's policies, suggesting that they could dampen Bitcoin's performance and pose risks to the U.S. economy more broadly. While some crypto investors believe a Trump administration could be crypto-friendly, others remain skeptical, noting that geopolitical and economic instability tends to pressure markets, even ones driven by digital innovation.